Hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to a new episode of the Queen Chronicles, the series in where we talk about the greatest band in the world, Queen. In case you haven't seen the previous videos, we're actually going in chronological order. On this episode, we'll talk about the band that started it all, Smile. But before we get to that, I just want to do a quick shout out to my members, because if you guys have been following the channel, I actually just got my first YouTube check at the beginning of the month, so I invested back onto the channel. I bought a used Metal Zone pedal that you guys have been asking for, and I did a review on that. If you want to check out that video, I'll link in the description down below. And also the newest addition to the studio, this little sofa here. I am actually waiting for my next paycheck to buy a couple of things, and then I'll do an all new studio tour for this year, because a lot of things have actually changed and gotten better if you ask me. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Okay, so on this episode, we go back all the way to 1968. Brian May and Tim Stafford were actually planning on starting a band. At that time, they were both students at the Imperial College in London, so they decided to post an ad on the bulletin board. And they actually got a lot of callbacks, and they actually auditioned a lot of drummers, one of them being Roger Taylor. Of course, he auditioned and he got the gig immediately. So Tim Stafford, who was an art student, took it upon himself to create the Smile logo. And they started writing and playing gigs all over London. It was a three-piece band, so you had Brian May on guitars, obviously, you had Roger Taylor on drums, and Tim Stafford on vocals and bass. And they were never big, but they were getting some notoriety. So in 1969, Smile got signed to, coincidentally, Mercury Records. And they had their first experience on a recording studio at Trident Studios in the UK. In March of 1969, the word got out that Smile had actually gotten some airplay on the BBC Radio 1 station. And these rumors were never really confirmed or denied by the band, or anybody else for that matter. But nevertheless, I guess that lit a fire under Mercury Records, because Smile were given a deal to record 3 songs shortly after that. And these songs were Earth, Step On Me, and Doing Alright. They were recorded in June 1969 at the Trident Studios in Soho. And you can really notice what the Queen sound would come to be. You can definitely hear the unmistakable Brian May guitar sound on Step On Me, and of course on Doing Alright, which would later be revisited and become track number 2 of the Queen debut album. These songs were never published or released. However, in September 1969, Mercury Records actually commissioned Smile to record 3 more songs. So they recorded April Lady, Blag, and Polar Bear. Again, a lot of Queen there. On Blag, you can actually hear a lot of what would become Brighton Rock and the long Brian May solo. And a lot of you Queen fans out there might not even know this, but they actually played Polar Bear with a full Queen lineup in 71 and 72. There's actually a recording of that on YouTube from 1972 where you can hear Roger Taylor bitching at the song for being so slow, and they actually trying to slow it down even further. It's really funny. Anyway, these 3 songs were actually recorded at the very famous Delaney Lee Studios, and they of course thought that this was going to be their big break finally. But these songs were also not released to the public. So in 1970, Tim Stafford, frustrated by the fact that they had recorded 6 songs that never got released, decided to join a different band, effectively disbanding Smile. Only 2 legitimate releases have been, well, released ever since. The first one was Getting Smile, which was an LP that was released in Japan in September of 1982. But that rare release is known for having inaccurate, to say the least, lyrics and song credits. And the second one was a very rare and very expensive limited edition CD from the Netherlands, Ghost of a Smile, from 1997, released by Pseudonym Records. Now this booklet is perfect, the lyrics are great, plus you get some liner notes from Tim Stafford himself. This CD has all 6 songs, plus 2 bonus track versions of The Man from Manhattan by Eddie Howell from 1976. Now that song has no relation to Smile whatsoever, other than the fact that Brian May was actually on it, doing backup vocals and playing guitar on it. And Freddie Mercury, who was not on Smile, played piano, backup vocals, and actually produced the whole song. So yeah, you actually get those 2 versions here as well. Luckily, Tim Stafford's friend and the band's biggest fan convinced Brian May and Roger Taylor to keep playing and keep writing new songs. And this man was Farrokh Bulsara. You guys might know him as Freddie Mercury, but that's a story for next episode. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like if you did, drop me a comment in the comment section down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. And if you want to join the team and help the channel out big time, just make sure you hit that join button down there. You can now become a member for less than a half of the price of a cup of coffee, and it really helps the channel out big time, so I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Pat out. Metal on, dudes.